Hi, welcome to the Upper Room. I'm your host, King Cleve, along with my co-host, the legend that is Larry and Zeke, the 5 foot freak. Very special show for you today. We are definitely excited to be back. What's going on here with the cameras?
Hey man, I was trying to put the boss up top,
there you
man.
go. You good. Leave it how it is. But we definitely have a great show. Wonderful topic, man, that definitely needs to be talked about. Um, man, I mean, there's several topics that we need to talk about, but we'll definitely want to address this one right now, why it's hot. But before we get into that, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Zeke, you want to tell them what it is?
Yes, be sure you go on the YouTube. It's under the Upper Room. Look for the 8 ball logo with the UR in the middle. Subscribe to our channel. Click the thumbs up button. Anytime we go live or anytime we post a new video, you will get an alert to know that we are live. So be sure you following us on YouTube because that's where we're going to be going live from here on out on our YouTube channel under the Upper Room.
Okay. Also, legend. Go ahead and give us something that is giving you the red ass at the moment.
But before I get into what gives me the red ass, I want to give a shout out to our engineer I don't know what to call you, but that intro was nice, bro.
Man, I appreciate that.
That
I
was
appreciate. I
nice.
try to do what I can to stay on the staff, man.
Yes, sir, man. I know we give each other a hard time, but much props, man. Much props. So anyway, it's giving me the red ass these days is our community not being accountable or taking responsibility, playing the blame game. And like I said, we can do this all day long, but where's it getting us? But there's a guy, and he's a social media, I call him my social media leader. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Charleston White. You guys familiar with Charleston White?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I just wanted to make sure at least my crew was before I start talking about it, because I want y'all to chime in on it. But Charleston White, ex-gang member. Correct me if I'm wrong. Just kind of go through who he is for those who don't know.
So he is an ex-gang member. He was a gangster.
Yes.
Yeah. He killed someone, didn't
he? Yeah.
But go ahead.
He did his work. He put in his dirt. But he talks about the gangster life. He talks about how much crap it is. He talks about he's calling out gangs for killing their own. And it's just very similar to a lot of things that I know I used to talk about and I'm very passionate about as far as, gangs not standing up to the Klan or white supremacy, nothing like that. You don't see them at any type of white supremacy rallies or parades or protests or whatever, but you're quick to kill one of our own. But anyway, he's catching a lot of hell, and he's actually calling out not only the gangs, not only the gang members, not only gangster rap, he's calling out people, the Black community as a whole. And to me, he's catching a lot of hell. They're calling him a snitch. They're calling him a sellout. They say he's bashing our people, and I really don't see that. And again, with him and Andrew Tate and even Kyrie, Kanye, I mean, all these guys, there's some truth to what they're saying, but there's also some things I don't agree with. But for the most part, and me and Cleve talk about this all the time, is that we as Black people, we need to stop being so emotional, wearing our feelings on our sleeve, and be able to separate the truth from the things that you may not agree with. And I just think that this brother, man, he's putting his life on the line, obviously. I think our people are more after him than the powers that be. He's not in the same boat as Kanye and Kyrie. I think we're after him. And it's a shame. There were some other gangsters that came up and spoke on his behalf. I forgot what city or what area they was from, but they was like, look, we need to keep it real, like Brother Charleston, and own up to some of these things that he's talking about. And I don't know. That's pretty much it. It's just that I'm just really tired of the blame game. I'm tired of us playing victim, because the government is not going to help us. And the sooner we accept that, it's not going to change, man. And I don't want to discourage people from voting. I'm not talking about that. I'm not saying, well, if you're in a position in politics and Congress, that's great. But if we waiting on things like that to make change in this country before we start taking responsibility for our own actions and start supporting one another and stop killing one another, man, I don't know what else to say, man. It's just that things that it's not going to change unless we change it ourselves. And so I think people like Charleston White, people need to stop just being so offended by the things that he say and just look in the mirror sometimes. We just got a problem. In my opinion, we have a problem. Our pride and our ego won't allow us to look at the man in the mirror. We just won't. We just want to quickly be like, well, it's because of the systems, because of the man. We know that. But they ain't gonna change. So when do we make the change? Or we just gonna keep waiting on the man to fix it? So that's my deal on Charleston White, man. I don't know how y'all feel about him.
Well, let me say this. I think that some of the things that he says holds weight, has merit, but I think people are turned off by his delivery. It's hard for me to get on board with you if my loved one has just been killed, no matter how it happened, no matter the circumstances behind it. Because at the end of the day, I'm still hurt. So it's hard for me to get on board with you when you're saying, fuck him. You see what I'm saying? So I think it would be different if he came out and said, well, fuck the lifestyle that he led. Or you see where I'm going?
Yeah. And those, I know exactly what you're talking about, King, in those particular situations. Yeah, that's when I'm like, you're crossing the line there. And you're right. That's where he is losing followers and people like, man, forget you. And what happens is, and it just goes back to what I'm saying, that particular part, we just go ahead and dismiss everything he's saying. But yeah, if you do want to be effective and reach the people, you're going to have to be sensitive to certain things and monitor and censor some of the things you say. And I do agree with that.
What I like about him, he do be having some valid points. He do be hitting on some hard issues and topics that people don't want to hear. And a lot of stuff that he talk about, he's telling the truth about. He has some validation behind what he say. But I do agree, when you're talking about a loved one, no matter how bad they been doing when they was alive or the lifestyle that they was living, everybody have fault into things that they do. Everybody make mistakes. But then when you start saying, like you saying, using the F word and talking about he don't care about them and that's what they get and stuff like that, then that's when you, like you say, Legend, you start drifting away like, man, I ain't trying to listen to him no more.
Right. And then, like I say, when we're notorious for that, and then we miss out on some truth. But who's to blame? And I'm gonna place blame on both, because at the end of the day, we do have to get a little tougher. But as we present this information to the people, we do have to be mindful on what people are going through and be a little bit more sensitive to the situation. Next thing, the thing that was giving me the red ass was just Herschel Walker in general. He's a fucking embarrassment, man. And look here, I'm not a Republican or a Democrat, man, but I'm not gonna lie, dude. I hate the fact that these Republicans are using this dude to get black votes, obviously. But he's a joke, man. He's an embarrassment. He's a buffoon. He's a coon. And they're just laughing at him behind his back. And obviously a lot of blacks don't care because he's on the Republican side, but he's still a black man. And he don't even realize that he's not on their team either. They just using this dumb ass, and it's just like every time I cringe every time I see him on TV. I'm like, damn, brother, and I'm not judging him for being a Republican because everybody know I'm an independent. I take stuff from the Democrats and the Republicans, and I subtract a lot from both of them too because they both wings are the same damn bird. And hey, don't get me started, man, because honestly I feel like the Democrats, they go and vote Republican anyway. I'm talking about the higher ups. Because if I'm a Democrat and I'm making, I don't know, bringing in $500 million or $500,000 a year, why would I vote Democrat? You know what I'm saying? So I want the tax breaks too. So I make that point. I'm getting off on a tangent here because I have deep issues about the political party on both sides anyway. But I just hate the way the Democrats, they didn't just they didn't gobbled up our vote. They didn't took our vote and they take our vote for granted. At the same time, in my personal opinion, when they get behind that curtain, when they go vote, I guarantee you most of them vote Republican. And
go ahead.
Yeah.
The problem I have is because he's kind of like the orange man. I don't know who write these guys' speeches. I don't know who proofread them before they go on the podium. I don't know if they start ad-libbing and going away from the speeches, but it upset me when he gets on there. It's like he don't know how to talk.
Well, that's my point. He sounds very illiterate. People laughing at him, and regardless of what political party, he still represents us. And it's just, I don't know, man. I really don't understand the whole idea of what the Republican Party was trying to do. But I mean, it was close. It was much closer than what they thought.
They want to split the black vote.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really don't have much to say about Herschel Walker at all. Nothing. I'm just gonna leave that one alone because I can go rant on about him for the whole show. So yeah. And normally when we talk about something, I always try to find some positive in something. Nothing there.
How do you get to that point, man?
Except that he won a Heisman Trophy.
How do you get to that point to where you just that sold on?
It's wanting to be relevant, man. When you get people like that and they're used to attention, people find it hard to just fade away, to disappear. And when you look at him after football, he's done all kind of stuff. He was an MMA fighter. He was this. I mean, just all kinds of stuff.
He's trying to find himself, King.
Exactly.
That's what this is about. This is a personal.
It's
bigger than
it's a struggle because then you remember he said he had like 15 personalities too. Remember that?
Man,
it's like 15 people inside of him.
So we got.
So now, I mean, it's a struggle for relevancy. He wants to stay relevant.
So we got schizo, bipolar, multiple personalities. We have low self-esteem. We have no confidence in ourselves. We want to belong. We're a follower. And so we got to peel back the onion and go back to what happened in school. There's something happened to this brother, man, because for his age to be so, man, dude, just remind me of a classic follower just wanting to belong. But yeah, he got some issues. But it's embarrassing to me. It really is. And like I say, we getting the fact that he represents us. I just can't put my finger why the Republican Party would put him. But like you say, King, to split that vote.
And try to draw in the blacks and African American.
Yeah. I wouldn't look here. If I was a Republican, I ain't voting for him just because he retarded. that's just it. Like, man, I'm not voting for nobody because that's what a lot of reasons why I vote is based on you as a person. Because I can give a damn about your political affiliation because both of them don't mean shit to me. But I'm looking at you. I'm looking at your character. I'm looking at a lot of inside things on the inside. I'm like, okay, I could rock with this guy. You know, he got some integrity. He got some things going on. Because as far as, hey, I'm gonna just keep it real. It ain't been one political party that has helped me and my family financially, emotionally, in any kind of way. It's been the same. I have been the one to affect my family on any level going through life. There's not been one political party that has helped me. Not one. Not the truth be told. Let the truth be told, the Democrats were locking their ass up in the 90s for jaywalking. And nobody want to talk about that though. You know, the saxophone weed smoking Bill Clinton, but I'm gonna leave that one alone.
We're gonna have to move on.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and take a quick break. And after that, we'll be back with our main topic for today's show. We'll be back in a few.
Oh, okay.
All right, we back live. The Upper Room. We got a great topic for you. Been all over the news. We've had a hard time coming up how we were going to title it. So we just came up with Coach Prime.
Right to the point.
I think that'll do it, right?
Sums it up.
We got to talk about Coach Prime Time, Deion Sanders, and the flack, whether warranted or unwarranted, for him leaving Jackson State after 3 years and taking his talents to Colorado.
The Rocky Mountain.
Which one of y'all want to tackle this first?
Go ahead, OB.
Well, my thing is, I know a lot of people are upset because of Deion's move. I'm not upset by his move. I wish he would have stayed a lot longer, but he did say when he went into the HBCU realm that he was going to change things around, help a lot of kids, which he have, and he brought spotlight to the HBCU universities that they wasn't getting. They was getting new television deals, new equipment, new facilities, and things like that. But with any other coach, if they would have decided to move, whether it's white, black, Hispanic, or whatever the case may be, everybody would have been looking at it as just a jaw position and a lateral move going to a bigger institution, probably with better athletes and better facilities and equipment, travel, and money. That's the same thing with people with ordinary jobs. If you have a chance to advance to go up to a higher level, you ain't going to say, well, I'm going to stay in the mailroom department when I can be a general manager of the company. Big shouts out to the people that work in the mailroom. But my thing is, with any job, you're trying to advance to make more money, to better your family, and to have a better lifestyle. So I don't see anything wrong with what Deion did. I wish he would have stayed a lot longer.
Why?
With the HB a lot longer? Because I would have liked to see what he would have done as far as the coaching realm. Now could coaches ask for higher salaries? Where they start bringing in top tier athletes, then they can start competing against some of these big Division I schools. Deion said it from the beginning. If I was to play against Alabama, and I guess he was saying that because he do commercials with Nick Saban, he said, skill wise, we're better compete, but they just too big up front. Our front four can't match their front four. Our linebackers can play like they linebackers. Our cornerbacks can play like they cornerbacks. Our receivers can go against their cornerbacks. But it was just the front four. And I think with him being in the HBCU, yes, he started making a change because a lot of these five-star athletes start decommitting, start going to the HBCUs. But with him leaving, it's going to be flack with him leaving or with he was staying as well. So now you're going to have these five-star athletes saying, hey, I changed my decision going to a HBCU because of the change that they was making. So now from these first-year five-star athletes, are they going to go into the portal now and say, hey, I'm leaving out of the HBCUs and going to these big D1s? So I think it was pros and cons behind it. I'm not mad at him for the decision because, like I said before, if it was you and your job, whether you are a school teacher, a mailman, or in insurance, and you had a chance of moving up, you're going to take that move, whether it's for the money or just having a better opportunity being in the work field.
I agree. But unfortunately, when he came in, what he was telling the community, what he was talking about as far as the HBCUs, what he was trying to tell our people, we need to invest more in our community, our schools, this and that. I think where it is a fair judgment to cast on him because of how he came in. You can't judge what he's doing. Yeah, we all want to move up, but what is moving up? In this particular situation is very unique, man, because it affects so much in our community on so many levels. It is so much deeper. $5 million guaranteed for 4 or 5 years with 40% a percentage or whatever. Hey, numbers, hey, money talks. So let's get that out the way and let's just bring it on. Let's walk it on back though to, and you was touching on some of the things of the issues. Can't everybody just up and pack their stuff up to Colorado? And he took like 10 athletes, great. But like you say, there were some people that was committing to go there. He took his staff there. Where does that leave Jackson State now? Obviously, people were going there because of him. And so, you know, is it fair to place him at a Harriet Tubman level of him to lead the movement? Because that's what we've done. We put that mantle on there. We put that crown, like, take us to the promised land, Deion. Now, is that fair? Did he crown himself that, or did we do it? It's a very different.
The public did it. But then if you look at it, Legend, how many 5-star athletes was going to the HBCUs before he came? Name one HBCU that had just 2 5-star athletes.
Zeke, he's done more for any HBCU school more than anybody I could think of. I mean, who? I mean, they brought out a stat. They said only 10% of alumni from HBCU give back. So that's a problem in itself. This man was paying for the meals. He got $1 million Under Armour. He got Under Armour to donate $1 million for uniforms and equipment. I mean, yeah, he's done a lot that because of who
he have been done had he not went.
Right.
And we wouldn't be having this conversation.
It would not have happened had he not gone there, right? None of that, the deals. Now, let's look at that, the fact that $300,000, right, in the world of college athletics isn't much, right? He turned around and donated that back to the program. Like you said, the equipment that he got on Under Armour to donate. Michael Strahan and others donated money so the kids could have lasers and stuff when they traveled. He paid out of pocket for their hotels, for their food when they traveled. Now, we all know, we've been athletes, college, whatever. The more you win, the more money that college receives, right? So you would think that after 3 years, hey, we would be able to pay for those hotels and the food. That's the least that we can do. Now, let me touch on something else. I seen someone when this guy was just ranting, right? He stripped us of our resources. He did what resource? What did you actually have before he arrived there? And what's the other guy? Dr. Umar Johnson.
Umar Johnson.
I mean, he let Deion have it. But see, this is the thing, and not many people recall this. When Deion came in, he said he was there to change the culture, but he called on all of these other people. See, you can't do this with one person. And see, that's the problem. We think one person gonna do it and it's not gonna happen. Where was Oprah? Where was Jay-Z, LeBron, all these other billionaires who nobody contributed $1? Yeah, Deion got money, but he ain't got money like these people.
Right.
And even if you get the millionaire, cut a check, use it as a tax write-off.
Right.
But yet and still, you want to sit and point fingers at this dude. And let me tell you something else. Well, for one, like you say, I call it pocket counting. I would say, well, you wouldn't take the money. Of course I would take the money, but he's a multimillionaire. Okay, fine, let's say that. But look at what he's getting. He's putting his son in a better position to possibly play at the next level, to play against stronger competition, right? The coaches that he's bringing, how much do you think that they were possibly making at Jackson State if he's making $300,000? Position coaches will get paid that when he goes to Colorado. So that's a big step up for them and their families. Look at the people that he is taking care of. Look at the things that he's making possible. See, man, it just bugs me because we're so quick to point the finger. But I do it one step better than that. And this is all our friends on Facebooks, whatever you want to call me, we can talk about it. Because I've been looking at your streams and your comments and everything. I just don't say anything. What have you done?
Uh-oh. Ooh.
What have you done? How much money have you donated to your local, not even local, to your favorite HBCU?
You didn't have to do them like that, Ken.
Yeah, I had to.
Dang.
Because I get sick of it, dude.
I thought we was talking about kicking a little butt around here.
Yeah, but no, I get sick of people who want to sit back, point the finger, and want everybody else to do the work. And then once the work is done, we can say we made a step. Now you need to be back there pushing the wagon while we going uphill.
Yeah.
You see that part. Go ahead, man. Because I can.
Well, how about this, y'all? I think we're kind of in agreement that he's came in. He did say some things that kind of put him in a pickle. But
what did he say, Legend? What did he say? Everything he said, he did.
He did exactly. But coming in, it was the flavor of it was I'm here to stay. And nothing is forever.
He never said he was there to stay. He never said that.
No. I said the flavor. I didn't say his exact words.
But I think he thought he would have more support.
I think that he did have plans to stay there longer. In my opinion, I think what made his decision to abruptly leave is when he broke into his office during the game.
Well, they said, from what I'm hearing, and I don't know which story is true, one of his assistants moved the stuff.
Now this is some information that I got. Allegedly, it was in his contract. If he can fill the stadium up to 30,000 people, he would get half of the proceeds because he wasn't making that much money. Well, he did that over 10 games and never seen his money. Him and the president was already bumping heads because from them winning last year and went to a bowl, he was asking where was that bowl money going that the football program had made, and it went into something else, like something fun or whatnot. Now, I don't know how true this is, but that's why I said allegedly these things happen. So that could have been the reason for him to move. Now, we can't forget about last year he had job offers and he didn't leave. But I think this probably was the straw on the camel's back. Okay, we making more money. I'm not seeing any of the money. And like the King said, he put up some of his money. So where's this money going?
His whole check, his whole salary was donated back to the program. The whole time he was there.
And then, and you know what kills me, man, and what pisses me off about everything that's going on with Deion, any other coach that takes another job. We had coaches to leave from USC that was head coaches and went to another job. We had a coach to leave from Oregon, and they was like ranked number 2 or 3 to go take another job or go into the NFL. And there's nothing said about them.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Umar, back to what the King was saying about Dr. Umar Johnson. And I do follow some of his teachings on this one about Deion. He was dead wrong, but I do want to bring up the fact that, let's see, what did he say? He felt like Deion was responsible, and he felt like Deion could have started a movement and bring all these ex-NFL coaches into the HBCUs, and that would attract 5-star recruits, and then they'll be winning, and then the money comes in, and then all of a sudden now you didn't flip the landscape of college football. And that was Dr. Umar's vision.
That was his vision.
As his vision for Deion. And, like I say, hey, man, I'm not about to sit here and really just bash Dr. Umar Johnson because he do have some good things to say. But on this one, and see the problem with Dr. Umar Johnson.
Georgia at HBCU, right? Yeah, coach.
Yeah.
How many 5 stars? How many 5 stars he get?
You don't hear about it.
Case in point.
It don't make ESPN.
The case in point. You can bring Randall Cunningham. It's not who they were, it's who they are. So we talking about Deion on prime time, right? That's the reason. Ain't because he an ex-NFL player.
I totally
It's
agree.
because of who he is. Listen. Besides Muhammad Ali, no other professional athlete has impacted, quote unquote, swagger like prime time.
That's right.
Am I right or wrong?
I agree.
You're right.
I agree.
He saw when he came in with the chains,
I agree.
the boisterous attitude. Hey, look at me! I'm great. I'm this. I'm in rap videos. I'm hanging out with MC Hammer and everything else.
Pumps in a bump. So, so have y'all ever heard of Coach Primetime, one of his speeches?
Yes.
Have you ever heard him?
Have you ever heard? Man, let me tell you something, bro. It is, in my opinion, the best. I mean,
he's very articulate.
What you say, King?
He's very articulate.
Very articulate.
But see, but I'll have to disagree with you on that, Legend, that he's the best, because you can't take away from Ray Lewis neither. Ray Lewis be having some good speeches as well.
But as a coach, Ray Lewis is a lot of rah-rah. Exactly. And there's nothing wrong with that. You need rah-rah type players and rah-rah type coaches. I'm the total polar opposite of that. I'm more of a Tom Landry type person. But Primetime, his speech is not only that motivational, there's so much intelligence in that, because he's giving them this ridiculous amount of confidence, but he's doing it in a very intelligent way. And I'm telling you, man, it captivates me, man. I'm sitting there listening as if I'm a player myself. And it motivates me to be the best person that I could be. And I thought I've heard all types of coaching speeches and even the speeches that I give. And the man, and like I say, anybody can debate me. You know, you can argue with me about being the best, but there's nobody that has moved me. And I'm 50 years old. So I can imagine what an 18
You ready to go play?
20-year-old. Huh?
You ready to go play for Coach Prime?
You say, huh?
I still got 4 years. Y'all didn't use y'all.
Still got some eligibility left.
But hey man, the brother, I didn't know he was that talented. I knew Deion was prime time. He's all that. And I mean, like I say, I'm not trying to pass judgment, but the brother lives a pretty clean life, man. I mean, what he exemplifies, he does it. What he does as a coach in front of those players, he's actually living that life in private. And to me, that's important. You know, the brother lives a very clean life, and that's what he's trying to teach the kids about their diet and just certain things about our culture and what we embrace. And he's actually teaching against that and making and talking about the changes we need to make as a people to go against generational crap and the things that has plagued us over the decades and hundreds of years. He's doing it, man. And that's why I like what he's talking about. He ain't just in there just telling people to shuck and jive and dance. And yeah, he has that swagger, but he is really coming, in my opinion, his speeches are about higher consciousness. And it's just, I actually want to delve deeper into who he is, what he represents. And I just feel like there's a lot of layers to Deion that even meets the eye. That's a lot that's even past coaching in sports, man.
And I agree with you on that, Legend, because what I love that he did at the HBCUs, and I hope at his HBCU, and I hope he bring it to the D1. But you know, with the young African-American athletes that was at the HBCUs that he felt that probably have a chance to play in the NFL, I love the fact that he brought in a supermodel and he let that supermodel explain to, hey, if you seen a up-and-coming athlete, what would you do to be trying to get his money? And she explained to that, like, yeah, you game. If I know you're going to be a first-round draft pick, I'm going to be all in your DM because I'm going to show you what you want to see. And then I like the fact that, you know, when they was getting ready to play the bowl game and he was telling the kids, like, you're not leaving the hotel because of an incident that happened. So tell all your girlfriends or whatever the case, you're not leaving the hotel. So, yes, he do give them life lessons, and he let them know that sometimes It ain't about who you hang around. It's about who you continue to hang around. So some of y'all have to learn how to change your area code, meaning sometimes you got to get away from them friends. So I like the aspect of that, what he would teach the young kids, especially the ones that have a chance of playing on the next level, because what better person can tell you? He went in, the highest paid cornerback, didn't have to bench press, said he wasn't going to run the 40. He made everything about him and how he wanted to do it and how it was going to happen. He had the money, he had the fame. Pretty sure he had a lot of females that was on his coattail, but he was telling them, this is the right way that you need to live. Like you said, that dude is living from what he's preaching.
Okay.
Well, his impact within his 3 years there, right? And then again, I have to go back to what people are saying was taken from them. And again, like I said, we have a lot of, you look at Facebook or whatever, a lot of places. Most of these people, some of them went and attended HBCU, right? Others didn't, right? Didn't get the experience or whatever. But what we have to look at is within his 3 years, the impact that he had, not only on Jackson State, but the HBCUs as a whole, right? So honestly, how many times on a Saturday you flipping through the TV and you turn on and you see Tennessee State playing Grambling, and you keep going and go watch Alabama versus Arkansas, right? But now, right, you pass by, you see Jackson State playing.
You stop.
Exactly. Because besides the what is that over there in November, what they have? The Bayou Classic. There's nobody checking or watching a damn HBCU football games on TV. You know what I mean? Now you might have went to one and, if you could have took your person there, but with nobody, unless you knew somebody or had a child play. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the impact that he had with televised games, the money that he had rolling in, just the thing. Listen, if we're going to be real about it, let's put everybody on a level playing field and hold everybody responsible. What he did in 3 years, you still can't compare to what other guys have accomplished in 10 years. Yeah. Right? And if he would have stayed 10 years and if he would have left, they still be saying the same thing. It's just the fact that he left. And yeah, he came in and he sold, because both of y'all are coaches, right? And beyond anything, you have to sell to your players. You have to get them to believe before that car can get cranked up and rolling. Them guys in there have to believe, because if they don't believe, you ain't going nowhere, right?
Right.
You're correct.
You have to sell that to them. So then that's what you come in as a coach. That's what they all do it. That's a salesman. Like you said, he ain't the first. He won't be the last to come in and say this and then go somewhere else because he had a better opportunity. Now, it wasn't for the money. I don't know. And everybody always talk about what they would have done. Let me tell you something. I think I told you, had that been me, I'd left at halftime.
Got my money. Go!
I've been going to get my $5 million.
Like Elroy, huh?
Yeah, he should have said, would have packed up. I would have told him, look, after we go to halftime, you go out there and start the car, and I'm gonna go on out there and we gone. When they got ready to run through the banner, wouldn't have been no Coach Clee going with.
Right.
So I mean, that's just what it is. We sit here, but like you say, other people go and for better jobs all the time. And again, and I'm gonna get back and I'm gonna let y'all have this. When somebody can sit and say what they've done, how much money they've donated to, and I ain't talking about no like alumni to your school. I'm talking about to HBUs as a whole. Since this we was holding him, he was the savior of HB.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Not just Jackson State. He was as a whole. He was going to save the whole thing.
Right.
Hey, what the coach say? He ain't SWAC. I'm SWAC. And what Deion say? Tell me who is SWAC. What is SWAC?
Man, you know, and it's been all kind of stuff. I seen a little thing where he said, "Give me my theme music," and they show Colorado band playing.
So I want
him and his son walking like Uncle Elroy. As soon as I got
I was gone.
You know,
I want to take it another way though, y'all. There was a meme that I saw on social media, and they had like around 6 or 7 old white guys, and they were laughing, and they had a picture of, I think, Deion, and there was the caption said, and they actually thought that he was going to stay, and they had like money flying all over the place, and it was deep. And it had me doing a lot of thinking, because like I think we're all in agreement. There's no way I'm going to pass judgment on Deion. $5 million. I got a family and everything that he's went through with Jackson State. Yeah, I'm human. Y'all not doing right. You're not sticking to the agreements and the contracts, whatever. But if you look at the big picture, and that meme was, man, like I say, it was deep. And Black people, whether you want to judge them or not, do we sell out, or is it selling out to move up that ladder? And what is that ladder? And are we supposed to be judging ourselves based on the American financial or the American dream or the American success, which is not built for us anyway? You get other races that come into this country. They don't adopt the American way of life, nor do they pursue the American dream. Their pursuit is to, well, we're going to get what we can get and take care of our families and send it back to our families across where they come from, and we're going to keep it moving. Whereas we feel like, well, since we've been here, we built this country, we are Americans, and we are, but we're not receiving the same benefits as white Americans. And so does that ladder to success, is that something that we should be aspiring to? Because when we do sell out, it hurts our progress. And again, sell out is a strong word. I want to use another word. It's not selling out, because it's all ingrained in us from birth. We want the 4 or 5 bedroom with the picket fence and the dog. That's success. 3-car garage. That's success, right? And so we all striving going up that ladder, just like Deion did. But again, who's going to take the responsibility of being like, you know what, I'm going to sacrifice for my people and start this movement? We can't put that on Deion. It takes more than that, but it does take one. And so I'm just kind of looking at it from a deeper level. Like, man, yeah, I do look at success as based on how much money is in the bank, my house, my cars, and that's what that's the American dream that's been sold to me to make me feel like I'm successful. And I feel like, especially with Black people, we ain't never had anything. Once we get to that level, we kind of kick that ladder off, because we really don't want nobody at that level, because we want to look down upon somebody else to make us feel better than them. And that's our level of success, because we know we can't get higher than the white man. And it's that same mentality why, blacks kill blacks. Well, we know we can't go kill a white person because the damn military be looking for us. So, it's like we turn on ourselves to make ourselves feel better. And again, turning on ourselves and selling out, those still are strong words. But I'm hoping that the viewers and even the crew here can kind of understand what I'm saying. And it just all goes back to that meme of those 7 old white men laughing and saying, and they actually thought that Deion was going to stay at HBCU.
But my thing is, okay, what and how did he sell out? Who said he's selling out? Just because he was at a HBCU and now he went to a big Division I school. And then when you say the level of success, he already had success before he became a coach. You know, he had Super Bowl rings. He was the MVP before, whatever the case may be. So where is he selling out from? Because he going to another school? He never said that he was going to stay at a HBCU forever. He never said that. He was just trying to come and change some of the dynamics of the HBCUs and why they not getting the same things like these other big Division I schools from sponsorships and stuff like that. But since this man moved on, a lot of people say it's about the money. I don't really think it was about the money because he already had the money. I think it was other issues, underlying issues that we don't know about, allegedly from contracts or agreements from the ticket sales or whatever the case may be. Because if it was about the money, he wouldn't have never put any of his own money up to help better the facilities and things like that. So we can't use sellout. And then with the picture, with the 3 white men and the money and all of that, first off, we need to look and see where the source of the picture came from. Because it can be our same people that put that picture out to make it seem like it was the white people that put it out. So them are the things that we got to research and know about. And then we quick to put blame on Deion for what? Coaches do it all the time, man. They make movements to go to different schools, better programs or whatever the case may be. What's the difference from high school coaches that do it? What's the difference from NAIA or JUCO coaches that do it?
So supposedly, integration was really started by the higher ups, the powers that be. It really wasn't black people that pushed. Of course, black people pushed for that, but it was the higher ups. And integration, I forgot the guy that was talking about this and it slipped my mind, but basically he was saying how it hurt the black movement because what it did before integration, that's all we had was black businesses. We invested into our black businesses. We went to black schools, so that's all we had. So there was no other option. Once integration hit, now all of a sudden, now I got an option. Once we had options to go into different businesses, and now I can go into that restaurant, I can go into that store now, and now what's the civil rights? So I'm not saying that we weren't supposed to get the civil rights and we weren't supposed to be, but did it really hurt the movement to really support black business, black education, black schools, black families? Did integration really hurt? And I say all that because it leads to that meme, and like you say, I don't know, Zeke. I mean, it could be our own people putting that in to make Deion look bad, but at the same time, it's no secret that the powers that be put things in place. They throw the rock, and then they hide their hand, and then all of a sudden, they place other people. You know, Malcolm X and Martin. You know,
let me say this real quick. Martin Luther King sacrificed his life for the betterment of black people. And there's still black people to this day that have some slick shit to say about him. As far as selling out, because I can't see it. I can't see how he could possibly be a sellout. And let me back up and say this. And this is why. We, as black people, have to be the only group of people void of leadership, right? Meaning leaders. So now, where else, what other ethnic group, race, whatever you want to call it, looks to leadership from coaches and comedians and basketball players? But these these are the people that, which is like to say, legend, the powers that be deem as our leaders, and we run with it.
Oh,
I
I
mean,
said
are
that.
these people fit to lead us to where we need to go? I mean, think about it. These people are busy making their money, doing their commercials, doing this, doing that. When you're a leader of a movement, that's a full-time job. That ain't part-time right there. You don't get to come after your Nike commercial and then try to lead us to the promised land. And I'm not taking shots at nobody, but you understand what I'm saying? We're void of leadership. So therefore, when we get anybody in the spotlight, oh, he's a leader, oh, he shouldn't be doing that.
But see,
Because guess what? Had that been you that took that job, would nobody said nothing.
nope. And hey, let me post this
Except for
question.
me, I would have just collected that money that you owe, since you
We
were
got
getting paid more.
Mr. Boyd said they did not pay the man. They used the athletic money for football players and put it somewhere else. I don't know where they put it at, but my thing is allegedly he was supposed to be getting the ticket sales or whatever the case may be, and he was using his own money. But my thing is going back to what the legend said. You said with the integration. I understand all of that. But what do that have to do with Deion Sanders and the coaching job? Nobody talked about Nick Saban when he came from Auburn and went to Alabama, saying that, oh, he left the people over there to go to Alabama. And then you say the black movement. What was the black movement before Deion got there? I haven't heard anything about people having a black movement for the HBCUs before Deion got there, as well as if they was having a black movement while he was there. So how's all this stuff coming about that he's selling out? He ain't helping the black people. What was happening with the fans, the coaches, the media before Deion ever got to the HBCUs?
I'm with you on that. I guess I'm just looking at big picture. Obviously, yeah, there's no way we can.
Okay, let's look at the big picture. What was the big picture before Deion even got to the HBCUs? Tell me about it.
There was no picture. Just like there's no
So
leader.
now it's a big picture because Deion went to the HBCU and he became a coach?
Now all of a sudden, because we're so thirsty to find leadership in our community. And like the King was saying, yeah, they, for whatever reason, whether you put it on the powers that be or you're going to put it on us because we're drawn to celebrities to be our leader. Because honestly, I mean, who right now is really leading us? Not no Barack Obama. Don't even say his name. Who? Like who do we have? Kyrie Irving? Kanye West? Again, celebrities. I mean, let's keep it real. Those two right now are the people, whether you hate them or not, they're the ones that I'm rallying around them. Because I got so-called leaders that's bashing these guys. So, and again, I'm getting off on a tangent here. I'm trying to, answer what you were saying as far as our leadership. But as far as the black movement, you correct. Oh, there was no black movement before Prime. Nothing was happening before Prime.
And it's not going to be one when he leave.
None
of them coaches going to start a black movement saying, well, we had Deion Sanders here and we was getting endorsement deals. Now he's gone. So what we going to do, people? They not going to do that, man.
But Prime, but again, I think Cleve had touched on this. You just can't get anybody in there to do that. And it goes back to, well, we just need to get some more NFL, X amount. No, it was Deion Sanders. There ain't too many Deion Sanders walking around playing.
And what people missing, hold on, before I say that, we got another viewer that just posted. New Diaz said, here's another point that's being missed. He is now getting HBCU coaches D1 jobs, which is true.
We touched on that in the bump up in salary and what they'd be able to do for their families by moving there.
And then what I wanted to touch on too, you saying like he was going to get the NFL coaches there, whatever the case may be. And that's not necessarily true. The coaches that he had on his coaching staff was guys that he coached with for 20 years, from coaching pee-wee ball, whatever, youth football, and he just helped them out by giving them jobs. He said it in his thing, I've been with these guys for 20 years. None of these guys was head coaches nowhere at a high school, defense or offensive coordinators or position coaches. These was regular guys that was coaching youth football that he gave jobs to. So tell me how many NFL coaches that's coaching right now in HBCUs without the light of Deion saying, hey, we need to come over here and help these kids, whether they was going to come or not.
I'm gonna tell you something honestly. This is just my opinion. He was the only person that could have went into that situation and pulled it off. Tell me one other retired African American player or whatever that you know of that could have pulled that off. And it's more of what he represents now, what he represents, and a combination of who he was. I mean, he's a polarizing figure, right? Very polarizing. So, I mean, as soon as you hear Deion Sanders, the first thing I know I think of was his name? Chris Berman, prime time. You remember on ESPN. So, and I grew up a Florida State fan. So I always, as soon as I could catch him on TV, I was watching. So, I mean, he brought that. You know, he had charisma. You know, he's a very likable person. He can come in, sit down in your living room. There's not very many people who can do that. And like I say, I don't know of anybody else that you could have put in that. And there's great players. They're all great players. And there have been better players than Deion Sanders. But when you add his personality with it, nobody else could have pulled that off.
And I don't see no, unless they do it now, but I haven't heard a lot of former NFL players saying, hey, I'm gonna go to an HBCU and coach. They looking at the bigger picture. They looking at that national exposure to be on the sideline. Some of them going back to their old college, which they know they'll just give them a job because it's all promotion. Hey, we got Cleveland West here. He was an All-American here winning the first round. He was coaching. That's just like what's our guy? The quarterback, Vince Young. He went back to Texas. He didn't go to no HBCU. He went back to the school that he coached at. They probably gave him a job just off of GP, made him, I don't know, public relations or recruiting or whatever the case may be, because they ain't want him on the field coaching. We just need them to see your face.
Exactly.
And so you just described, that side of people that's saying that's the problem on why we can't progress. And again,
but how was the problem? He went back to the school that he played at.
No, what I'm saying is that process that you just described, as far as moving up the ladder, going up to a better school, better this, better that, and leaving the people behind. So let me bring it down to more of a local level. And again, I'm with you guys, but I'm playing devil's advocate too, because I'm looking at this thing from outside. Why people won't stay in Galveston and keep their kids in Galveston schools? Why did we want to leave Galveston? How come ain't nobody staying in the district? How come ain't nobody said why? Because it's already in us to move up that ladder and to get out of there. Okay? And now everybody complaining, well, Galveston got this and that. Well, everybody's gone. Why? Because I want better for my family. I want to go stay in a white neighborhood. I don't want to stay in Parkland, Cedar Terrace. I don't want to stay in the projects. I don't want my children subjected to what we went through. I don't want my family around Black people. And that's the elephant in the room. And this is why I've been trying to get to when I brought up the other stuff, as far as it looking at big picture. Do we really have to dig deep? And I do understand. That's why I say I'm looking at this thing from all sides. Am I going to pass up $5 million guaranteed? You must be out your mind.
Athletes do it all the time, legend. They do it all the time. If I get a bigger contract, I'm gonna leave. What was the receiver name? Tyreek Hill. He got a bigger contract. He left, went to Miami. You can say it was for the team. It couldn't be for the team because he got a better chance of winning another Super Bowl with the Chiefs instead of going to Miami. But he seen that money, he seen them dollar signs, and he was out. Quarterbacks do it all the time. They'll hold out. If you don't want to give me my money, I'm gone.
Time, and the question is that the right thing? I'm asking all three of us on this panel and anybody watching, is that the right thing? Are we pursuing the right thing?
But I don't think it's wrong, Legend. My thing is, okay, all three of us don't stay in Galveston. Well, you stay there, but you didn't stay in Galveston.
I stay in Texas City. I stay there.
Oh, well, my bad.
I moved out.
You moved out.
I got out of it.
Say, and he got out of there. He got out of there without us knowing. King, have he invited you over yet? Haven't invited me over neither. But anyway,
way out.
But my thing is, what my point I'm getting to, like all of us don't stay in our hometown anymore. Yes, we graduated from our high school. None of our kids attended the high school that we attended. Was that for better education? I'm pretty sure it was. For the better environment at home, I'm pretty sure it was. But the thing is, are we wrong for that? Are we wrong for that?
No, you're not, because you're looking out for your family. But look at it as a community, though. We're getting away from our own people.
We're getting away from our. So we have to be around our people to be 100. We have to be around our people to be real.
I guarantee you, it ain't ghetto at all. I guarantee you, it's a lot. There's a lot of the other persuasions staying in your apartment complex, and that was picked. Why? Because we're getting away from. Yeah, but see, we don't want to go there though. I'm with you, bro. I'm just as, whether you want to call it guilty or not. What I'm trying to say is that we can't put it on Deion, and we can't put it on Cleve, and we can't put it on Otis, because we all made our moves to look out for our families. But we're not getting away from white people. We're going to them, because in our minds, white is right. White is clean. White is peaceful. White got the police, got more security around here. We don't want it to, but again, I know it's ugly, man. And it's a hard pill to swallow. I don't want to stay at this HBCU, man. They're taking my money. They're not doing right by me. It's ghetto around here. Hell, Jackson State is in the hood.
Grambling is too.
Yeah. When Prime is like, you know what? I want better for mine. I want better for my son. He did the same thing that every black has since we were born. Our parents told us, get away from black people.
Well, I ain't gonna agree with
you. So how do we progress if we're standing getting away from each other?
But I'm not gonna agree with you on that, Legend, because Mama never told me to get away from my own people. She never told you that. Never told the Legend that.
She don't have to say the exact thing, though.
But the thing is, she did say she would like a better life for me. She would love.
And where's that better life, in white neighborhoods?
That's not necessarily
true. Again, but you don't want to go there though. Where's the black neighborhood that everybody's going to? I know friends, and I'm not gonna say their names, but they have literally say, man, it's too many brothers moving in, man. Like, we got to get out of here.
Hey,
bring the property value down, huh?
You ain't never heard me say that.
No, not you, brother.
You ain't never heard me say that.
I didn't say nobody on this panel. I got other friends outside
your two brothers on the show. You never heard us say that, so I don't have.
But that's not the point.
I don't have no validation for who those other people are.
We have that mentality, and it's hard for us to accept that. I'm guilty. You may not admit it. I'm guilty of it.
But what I can say is, yes, I wanted to get my son in a better situation where it benefit him in sports. Yes, I wanted to get my daughter in a better situation where it benefited her from sports. Because if you at a high school and a program is not helping them, if they don't have club ball, why stay there? And this is the sport that your child loves, and you know that they can exceed in that sport, so they're going to need better training. I don't know too many speed and agility facilities in Galveston. You got to go over the causeway to go to them. So sometimes if you're going to your kids and parents, I'm not saying this to be negative, but sometimes your kids are an investment. If you're putting money into them, you know, for them to have a better chance of not having the things that we didn't have, because we didn't have no speed and agility when we was growing up. We didn't have no football camps that we can go to growing up. So sometimes everybody has it now.
No, they don't. Who has it?
I know where you go with
Clear
that.
Spring, Clear Creek, Clear Lake. They got it. And that's where we're going.
Hey.
I bet y'all can ask a bunch of Lamarck people. I guarantee they're telling their kids, you need to get out of here. You need to move on. We need to get on down the road to Dickinson because that's where everybody at, right?
But we don't need that. Our high school went 10-0. So they doing it without that.
And who did they beat up on? The
It
HISD the poor minority schools that don't have the facilities, that don't have the coaching. I wonder why. But everybody want to move. Everybody needs to move to the suburbs. They need to go to Shadow Creek. They need to go to Katy. They need to go to Spring. Well, they need to get to the suburbs.
You might have a job come Monday, man.
Man, whatever, man.
Go ahead. King, I know you got something to say, man, because this dude will rant all night.
There's no judgment, man. There's no judgment on none of us. These are the things that when I looked at Deion's situation and the heat that he was catching, it was so unfair. But then I went deeper, and when the meme did something for me because I'm like, I always look at behind the curtain the puppet masters. I'm like, man, we doing the same thing. It's just a different way, but it's the same thing. And I mean, and it made me think about what is success? What is really success for me? What is success for our people? Do we need to get away from pursuing the American way of life? I don't know. I don't have an answer for it. But if we want to really talk about it and really make progress with it, we're going to have to really answer some hard questions, man, about us internally and what we pursuing and what we deem as success, man, because it's the white man's success. I mean,
so you saying if we have a chance to elevate in our careers, to move up, whether it's for the money and leave the people that we've been working with for 5 or 10 years, leave them behind, we should do that. I never heard one athlete that had a chance to play on varsity to say, I'm not going to play on varsity. I'm going to stay on JV or I'm going to stay on freshman. You get a freshman opportunity to play varsity, I guarantee you he's going to go unless you have that parent that knows about sports or was a coach and say, look, if you go up to varsity, you're just going to be sitting on the bench. I'd rather you stay on freshman or JV because now you're going to get more reps. You're going to continue to play. And when your opportunity comes before you to be on varsity, if you need to be up there and your talent shows, then move up. But you have a lot of parents that say, oh, yeah, my son getting moved up to varsity. And they'll let their kid get moved up. And some females too, they'll let their kids get moved up and they sitting on the bench and then they want to be the ones to complain. But you have to put your kids on varsity.
But your analogy is not touching the race part of it. That's what I mean. I agree with you.
But yeah, what does the race play in with Deion leaving a HBCU going to a big Division I school when we have the other coaches and other nationalities to do it, whether they going up or going down, it's nothing never said. But since Deion did it, it's a problem. If you have, and HBCUs have white coaches, correct?
Mm-hmm.
If they leave right now to this day and get an assistant coaching job at Alabama, at LSU or whatnot, we'll never hear about it. It'll never be a conversation. Nobody never say, oh, he left the HBCU when he could be helping them African-American kids over there, or he can be trying to bring some Caucasian kids over there. But since Deion left and he's an African-American, he was at an HBCU, and now he's going to Colorado, it's a problem.
Hey, let me, we're going to have to wrap it up in a little bit. I have a question that I want to ask. Have you ever thought of with these being historically black colleges, why are so many of them, their namesake, are Caucasian?
Oh, Rockefeller.
No, I mean,
that's in my notes, King.
Yeah, we just don't. Yeah. Anyway, hey, I was just sitting here thinking, trying to go through my mind about all the Howards, and and
yeah, bro. The name, all of them are named. Most of them are named by the white elites. Rockefeller, he's one of a Jew. One of the schools, oh man, I just read about that, King, but he named one of the schools. It was either after his brother-in-law or his sister, I forgot. But anyway, they were slave masters or whatever. But yeah. And so it brought up an interesting theory that were the HBCUs actually created by the elites to separate or whatever. But again, that contradicts my other theory about high integration. But still, I mean, you bring up something interesting that I haven't really been able to tackle about these schools being named after white people.
Well, I looked up one. West Virginia State University has 0.5% Hispanics, 60.8% whites, 0.5% American Indians, and 0.5 international.
How much were the blacks? Was this this HBCU, right?
Yeah.
What was the percentage of blacks? You said 68?
No, that's white, 60.8. It don't even have for blacks.
And they had a historically black college?
Yeah, West Virginia State University.
I don't know about that one. That's a head scratcher. We may need to investigate and dig deeper on that one. But again, man.
And then what HBCU is 90% white? Bluefield State College.
But again, so maybe when we was trying to get that Confederate flag down, maybe we should have been trying to change the names. What you think about that?
True.
But anyway,
hey, y'all do know that there were black soldiers that fought for the Confederacy, huh?
Yeah, we know.
Yeah, I know about that.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. Did y'all know Did you know we had black slave owners too, just to throw a monkey in the wrench?
And did you know that Howard University first students were white?
So those three statements, that the two I just made and what you just said, I think that this topic needs to be addressed again because this is real deep.
And another one, Howard University is named for Major General Olive Otis Howard, a native of Maine and a graduate of Bowdoin College in 1850 at West Point, in 1854 and as the 4th ranked student in a class of 46. That's who Howard is named after.
All right, man. Let's get some closing thoughts. Legend.
I let Otis go first. He's been doing good.
Oh, you mad at me?
I'd rather you go first.
Well, my closing thoughts is, Deion made a decision, and I don't think he made it for financial reasons. I think he made it to be able to be one African-American coach, one of among African-American coaches at a big NCAA Division I school. As we all know, just like the NFL, there's not a lot of black head coaches on the Division I level. So hopefully he can have a successful season, bringing light that African-Americans can be head coaches on the NCAA level, which can lead to head coaches being in the NFL. I don't think it was a thing of him selling out, because if you look at other coaches that moved on from other institutions, whether they went for bigger jobs or went into the NFL, no one's talking about them selling out. We have athletes that's on a professional level that do it all the time when it comes to trade, contract negotiations, and nobody say that they sell out that city. LeBron James, he left Cleveland to go to LA. No one said anything about that. One of the reasons why he made that move, because he knew LA was a bigger market. Now he has his own production company, have his own media company, and no one talks about that. If he would have stayed in Cleveland, he would have just been a millionaire. He moved to LA. Now he's almost a billionaire, if not a billionaire. So that's my closing thoughts.
It's all right, though. I think we're getting sliced up, spliced up in every which way. We're divided on so many topics within the past 2 to 3 months, from Kyrie to Kanye to Herschel to everything we've talked about today, Deion. And I just think that as a community, we really need to look at, there's a black civil war going on between us and our own women. We need to wake up and understand that we're at war, and it is a psychological, mental, and emotional war. It is internal. It is not physical, and we're getting our ass whooped because a lot of us don't even realize we're in a fight. When things happen on the news and the media, we need to question everything that we hear and see, and pull back the layers of that onion until we get to the bottom of it. Stop drinking the Kool-Aid. Need to check ourselves from the way we were raised, mindsets, and again, I'm being very general because I can't get into much specifics. We don't have time because there's a lot of stuff that I want to tackle. But this Deion thing to me is just one example of how we're lost. We're lost. We're divided on this issue wherever you stand. There's no judgment on Deion. If I was Deion, I would, like Cleve said, I would have left at halftime too. Been gone. But I have to question, where am I? Am I operating because of what's been passed down to me? Am I operating in fear? Where am I? Am I doing what the puppet masters want me to do? Has this already been ordained? Has this been orchestrated? Are we just pawns and are they playing us? So anyway, that's just where I'm at with it.
This is a question. When we address, can we say black people? I kind of have an issue with African Americans. You just say, for instance, what's the Tesla guy? What's his name?
Elon Musk.
He's African American, right? From Africa, he's in America now. So I mean, you see what I'm saying? So it doesn't really, when we speak that, to me, and that's just me, maybe I'm wrong, address us. Because when we're saying this, we're actually talking about black people. But anyway, back to Deion. I see nothing wrong with the decision. I think that the short time that he spent at Jackson State was groundbreaking. He did some things that, like I said, I don't feel no one else would have been able to do. Now, life is about passing torches, right? I mean, someone grabs that baton and keeps it going. Now, we're sitting here saying, who wants to step up? And it doesn't have to necessarily have to be a coach. Again, we can go back to the people that he called on to help him change the culture there. Because nobody answered the bell, right? Like I say, none of these people did anything.
Yeah.
I don't know how many millionaires and billionaires, black millionaires and billionaires that we have in America, but nobody did anything. We left that man out on an island like they used to do when he played cornerback by itself and say, you got that whole side of the field. And no one came to help. So when he got ready to move on, then we want to point the finger at him. And again, I really don't think that it was about the money. I think it was from the lack of support that he was given while he was there. I could be wrong, because don't get me wrong, I can't read his mind. But I do think that the platform he has now, it's definitely going to help the players and the coaches that he brought along with him. You know, let's just be honest. You have a offensive defensive coordinator at a Power 5 school, right? Let's say and I heard to wrap this up, his desire is to be a head coach, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's gonna, who do you think they're gonna choose from first? The offensive defense coordinator from Power 5 school or a coach from HBCU? You see what I'm saying?
They're gonna choose from Power 5.
Yeah, it's opportunity. But anyway, like I said, we'll have to revisit this again. I guess we lost a legend. But anyway,
Hold on.
we want to thank real quick.
Yeah, before we do that, one of our brothers, Mr. Benefield, say
nobody said that. I seen that. And that's why I ain't saying nothing about it.
Yeah,
I
think he was addressing
that's what happened when you tune in the last 10 minutes of the show.
Yeah, I think he was putting that towards me when I said about LeBron, and then he gonna say his coordinators are white. So it ain't about the money.
One coordinator is white.
Well, he brought in that defensive coordinator from Alabama.
Yeah, and then he hired the head coach from, was it Mississippi Valley?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, let me give these shots out, man. We want to give a big shout out to our supporters: Busy Bee Cab Stand, Element 7 Salon, Fort Trey Photography, Ink to the T T-shirts. You can find them on Instagram. Cooteroos Crawfish, National Scouting Service, Picture Perfect Photography, Silver Coastal Construction, Team Body of Work, The Footprint Incorporated, The Pleasure Boss, Six Figure Single Moms, Tommy Monopoly Personal Chef, and Uncontested Hoops. We really appreciate everybody out there that's following us. Also, I want to give a big shout out to Two Pits Barbecue and to Briggs Goalkeeper Training. Those are guys that are sponsoring me. They my main sponsors on National Scouting Service. So big shout out to them as well.
All right. Well, with that being said, that is the show for this evening. We thank everyone who tuned in. We want to thank in advance those who will go back and watch the show later. Like I said, with that being said, that's the show. God bless. Take care.
And we are out.